Winds blow across the faded forest near the Gulf of Irons. There sits the fortress of Daggerfall, Uristmid, of the roughness of bowls. Inside the small walls of the upper fortress lies a small pasture for the local livestock, alongside of butchery tables and a tanner's shop, beginning many crafts of leather and bone. The fortress is known for miles around for omelets and egg dishes, biscuits and the like. Ramps move up and down to various portions of the fortress filled with bedrooms and spaces for the dwarves to spend their time. The good mayor, Aiton, looks over this place, watching until the end of their time. Hello everybody and welcome back to another community fortress. This is the fortress of Uristmid, or Daggerfall, depending on which translation you go by. This fortress was sent in on the Discord by Saber VS7. Now, if you would like to send in a fortress for me to have a look at on this show, it might take a little bit for me to get to it, but you can do that via my Discord server. There's a link down in the description of this video. And also, because people keep asking me, if you would like to see the stream VODs of the live streams that I do, you can find that on the Blind Extras channel. There's a link to that down in the description as well. But, if you would like to send in a fortress, simply do that via my Discord on the DF Save sharing room. Just have a peek at what other people are doing, and I'm sure you can figure out the process of getting a fortress uploaded to that server. But, diving into the fortress itself, this fortress, like I said, was sent in by Saber, and they describe this as their relearning fortress, so the fortress where they're, relearning Dwarf Fortress after some time away. Generally, the way I would describe that as is they used to play on older versions, and, the game's a lot different now, so this is kind of the process of relearning. We do have a little bridge over here, and then this kind of central little waterway area, which, of course, was filled with floodgates. Pretty simple setup. Not too much else going on the surface. Aside from that, it's a normal-sized map. And then we have this kind of little area in the middle here. Now, there's nothing above it. It's just an outer wall. Pretty safe, though, as long as you're not attacked by zombies. Certain zombies, I think, could actually climb up to here and climb over. There is, of course, a emptying mechanism via floodgates, so, if they really wanted to get Quosa Strongligurius Viku's skeleton out of there, they absolutely could. Down here is a little space, which I assume was once a farming area, and then there's some ramps heading down, which are slammable by this. So we're going to follow that down. Personally, if I was building this, I would actually just straight up put a roof on top of this, either a pointed roof or something fancy, or just flat roof, just to, stop things from flying in, or like a dragon or something, because these open stairways are a liability. If you get a flying titan or something, it could just fly straight into the fortress, which wouldn't be good for anybody except for maybe the titan. Over here, there's a statue of a dragon, which I do very much appreciate, and there's some little gravestones here. Now, keep in mind, if a wild animal or an invader came by and knocked one of these over, it would re-trigger the ghost, but you're fine aside from that. Ramps kind of run down into here, and here's our little squad zone. As you can see, they are using some mods, so the half-wall view stuff and whatnot, but this is our first little set of squads down here, and we have some Waterworks all around, so we'll be looking into that in a second. This squad is the Crystalline Deaths, which is a good name, and we're going to keep moving down. These are the new stone ramps, I think, unless those are mods. It could be mods. I don't trust forts with mods whenever I see textures I don't recognize. Then down here, we got mystery, and then we can start to see the fortress itself taking shape on either side. Over here on the right side, if I zoom in a little bit, we have another barracks as well as some dining hall and such. So these dining halls and meeting halls aren't really assigned to anything. They're just kind of there. And then we have this dungeon over here, and then two temples. Over here on the other side, if I can move correctly, is a bunch of bedrooms that are either unfinished or were abandoned. One of the two, I'm not sure. We can see the waterworks that we were looking at earlier flowing down either side. So it starts over here on this side. Where's the exact space that it comes from? It comes from here, goes down into that stairwell, and then goes down, and then back up, and then down, which cleans the water. That's the process there. He's using a U-bend because all of the mud will stay at the bottom. Personally, I never bother with this. If I want clean water, I'll just use pumps, because pumps also clean water, but that's just me. And then down here is a way to drain the excess, which then flows down into this little waterfall over here. But as we follow down these ramps, as you can see, the waterworks then flows down this way, and then down into the fortress. So if I unpause the game, you can see it runs just fine. Runs 80 to 90 FPS on my computer with 150 bucks, what? 150 dwarves, which is pretty good actually, all things considered. Although there isn't that many places for them to go in this fort, which is probably why the frame rate's so high. Over here is just kind of an empty room. The simple eagle, which has artifact on it. And then we have some dining halls scattered about. Keep in mind, you could actually connect this dining hall to the golden cakes by clicking on this plus symbol and then clicking plus the golden cakes. And then anybody who's hanging out in the tavern could also go hang out in here and also get the benefit of being in a dining hall as well as getting the benefit of being in a tavern. Basically makes this dining hall more effective. And if you want to remove that connection, just click that button. So it's pretty easy to connect and disconnect those. We have a little animal training spot as well as a chicken home up here, which is very, very, very prolific. Like I'm actually curious, how many egg does this fort have? A lot of egg. That I just would like to just point out how many egg that is. That's a lot of egg. And then around here we have the lovely little sprinklers here, and then a dormitory as well as all of these bedrooms. And then down a little bit lower we have this kind of just some stockpiles, filled with the normal stuff. The mayor seems to be hanging around making crafts a whole lot of the time. There's also some smelters here. And then as we move down a little bit more, you can see there is another set of temples here with one on each. So just so you kind of have a little bit of a variety. And then some more ramps going down. And the Waterworks, which is spraying the fortress down here, is also acting as two offshoots for the water. And there really isn't too much more to this fortress aside from a couple of routes into the caverns. This one here is, if it's as open as it looks, could actually be quite dangerous. Yeah, okay, so they come down from either side here, and then the ramps go down, 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 down. So any forgotten beast could actually theoretically come in here, because I don't think these caverns are completely secured, but I mean, not a huge priority. Then down here is some more farming, and that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. It's quite a small one. I mean, they did mention that... Well, I'm going to follow this. This is kind of exciting. They did mention that this is the fortress that they used to relearn this version of the video game. And this is Abimu Olsiainathas Tharanafashi Niwu. The breaches of dream hate of cloaks. That's quite the name. He's pretty hot right now, frankly. I mean, if he jumps off that cliff down into there, we may actually get some excitement. He might even manage to pull off getting into the fortress while I'm looking at this. I might leave the recording running a little bit and see if he makes it down. He might not if he's just run off the map now, which is out of our line of sight. Is there a way down for him? Possibly. That or he'd need to go up. Yeah, okay. If he has to go up, then he's not going to get in, but that's a little unfortunate. Kind of exciting, though. Just, yeah, he won't make it in. It's too high up. This is the upper cavern layer, whereas this is actually a lower cavern layer, or just a very vertical cavern layer. So yeah, no, he won't make it in. That's disappointing. But anyway, this is very much a fortress that was used to relearn the game. And honestly, if that is the whole goal of this fortress, I think it's been pretty successful. I mean, looking at this, I don't see anything that's particularly out of place or some things that I would change aside from like just aesthetic layout. One thing that I think that Saber has like unintentionally like nailed with this fort is it really does kind of fit the vibe of one of the generated forts that you find in adventure mode. But, a lovely fortress for relearning the game. And thank you very much, Saber, for sending this fortress in for me to have a look at on the show. If you would like to, once again, take a look at the other fortresses from this show or submit one, you can do that via my Discord. And if you'd like to support this show and the just stuff I do on this channel directly, you can do that via my Patreon or by checking out my Twitch streams over at twitch.tv/BLINDIRL. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.